Alright, good evening everybody. It turns out that our long-term allies, the Hungarians, have decided to turn against us. Now, we have been in a coalition with them from the start of the game, and in the interim of that, we actually married into the Austrian family. So the Duchess of Eleanor, the Bar, is married to our useless king. Useless, why you ask? Well, look at these. 0 administration, 1 diplomacy. Fortunately in this case he is pretty decent at warfare though. So Hungary decided to start another war, yet another one. This time is eyeing Austria. Now, I'm very surprised that this would actually go through because of a long-standing alliance. But we're gonna have to deal with it somehow. And the question is, whom do we side with? Now, the defensive agreement has been broken because of the war starting, so, you know, that's over with. However, is this a salvageable situation? As in, can we, I don't know, do as little as possible, pull back? Is that the choice we want to make? Hungary is much stronger than us, particularly in the land forces avenue. So I really don't want to get into a prolonged thing with them, and my long-term plans included Hungary joining us against Venice down here. So this is a bit of a conundrum, really. Venice currently fighting off against Tunis, but that's another story entirely. So, I think the best we can do to mitigate the situation is to boost up all our defenses, as in the force and such, and see if we can kind of sit this one out a little bit. And I would rather make peace for Hungary and break the royal marriage kind of ties with Austria in the long run. So let's see how we can do that. We do have some troops here. I think I probably want to pull everything back. So they're going to be possibly launching some ships from here. Now, I wonder though, we should have a naval superiority for the time being against Hungary. This may change quickly though. So if you look at this again. Yeah, so I have 40 ships. They have none. But that doesn't, you know, isn't saying much. These are currently built ships, and they could pay for a mercenary army. Or navy in this case. So they have Croatia and Provence, also a long-term ally over here. So this is really a total mess. And if there's any way for me to kind of leave Austria behind and break this situation, they haven't even had a child yet. Or do they? Oh, they have had children. Okay. Well, in any case, I'm hoping to, you know, get this over with as soon as possible. And then following that, re-establish a coalition with them. Wonder if this is gonna... Yeah, this really messed up the relations we have. Well, this could be temporary because of the war. Enemy of my enemy. You know, this is all, we've aided them so much in the past. So if we can end the war, this should kind of bounce things back. And we should hopefully be able to kind of turn this ship around. Because, you know, it's a mess, right? If they start grabbing my lands down here, I don't think there's much I can do for, do to stop them entirely. And it's going to be prolonged and expensive. So I think we need to just make sure everything's supported financially. But we're going to have to cut down investments somewhere else to make up for it, make up for the difference. So we're still in a positive here. Court costs has already been cut. We might end up just cutting all the culture expense. This has been good though. We finally started to move into positive culture, which has been a long-term goal for us. Sometimes I do cut the food, but ideally you want to not do that. How about stability? So we could cut there, I suppose. Something like this, so it's still going upwards, and this is staying stable. Of course, before this, the goal was actually to get into the next research tree in the Age of Reformation. And actually, to get into researching land troops and such. You know, to catch up there. Pike and shot and all that good stuff. And get some modern units. So really now we just have levies and, well, underwhelming units basically. So I'm thinking the best action I can take for the Navy so far at the moment is to get them all together and maybe patrol the western coast. And Hungary will probably come down and attack and grab some of my land. But, you know, when a peace accord is done, I shouldn't have to give anything up, because it's a war against Austria, not myself. Alright, so let's see if we can put this into action. And this army, I actually want to just pull them away. Maybe I have to send them to the west coast. Because 1,500 men won't do much against the thousands that are going to be rolling in. So, let's see. Grab these here. The Carracks. So let's just join all the navies together. I have been using them to increase the naval presence. So I want to slow it down a little bit during warfare so I see better what's happening. Already we get a bit of incursion into Austria here. 6,000 men. I don't know how much they have. So they have a what, potential of 27,000? 16,000 here, and this should be able to hold them off temporarily. The alliance against us is stronger, and again, these are two lands that I don't really want to fight. I don't want to be fighting Hungary nor province for that case. I wonder if we can sue for peace right away. Be very cheeky, wouldn't it? Okay, we cannot abandon our allies until 20 months after we have started the war. I see. It's a year of this. Now the other option, of course, is to stand straight and fight against Hungary and the province. Possibly losing fight unless more allies join in. But it's going to be very costly, particularly in manpower. This may cripple the economy long term. So I'm not sure I want to be doing that either. I do need an officer here though. See if we can find a good naval one. Rocket efficiency, probably not what we need right now. Well, he might be the best choice, so with that high of a skill. Getting on he is though, but he will serve us well during this war, I think. Right, let's see if we can get all the units on board. So we probably need our flutes to get them across. I'll get them back to Naples. If I can, I think we might need to change the map mode to get that. And then we send them back. Use the third fleet. Yeah, that's probably this one, right? The eighth one. Which one's the third? Guess it is this one after all. Alright, and we should have some more ships here. Folks, yeah, these are kind of the transport ships we'll be using. We can upgrade them, but we're going to leave them in port for this campaign if we can. These bark, let's just move them here as well. I want everything together. So I'm going to wait a little bit here to see how it plays out before I start pulling out any levies. Another way to go would be to, of course, attack Hungary or any of the allies. But I don't think I'll be getting any land out of it, because that's not the agreement during the war. So it's just a bit of wasted effort and wasted manpower. Particularly seeing as I'm not so invested in Austria. Yeah, so they're getting right in here, just gobbling it up by the looks of it. Jacko, where's that? Yeah, it's one of my domains. Again, I don't think this will matter in the end, because Austria can't really negotiate about... I don't think they can negotiate about my land. I mean, it is a different kind of alliance I've had before. This is like a royal marriage one. So I don't know if the rules of engagement change. So maybe that does mean that they can actually take things off us. And that would be horrible if that's the case. As in, I'd have to really change the way I approach it. And Hungary... Let's have a look. I mean, there's a lot of forts, isn't it? So there's a lot of time to capture each. Let's see. So we can raise up to 42,000 levies. I wonder if I can see how many levies they can get here. Currently raised, okay, that's... Yeah, so potentially about the same numbers. Infantry, cavalry, artillery, auxiliary. These are not levies though, right? These are units. So standing army of 24,000 infantry, that's gonna be rough, isn't it? You can see by the shield icon being golden rather than, I don't know, brown, I suppose. So let's see, so that's a frontage, just comparing the power level. I wonder what kind of levies I will get, if they're going to be similar or not. I would expect this depends on the technology I've researched. And they most likely have much more of that research than I have. Alright, so it looks like my navy is at least moving. Let's deposit here. Should be on the way, or maybe they've arrived already in Naples. Let's make sure it's balanced out nicely. Alright, looks like they just decided to walk across and then be picked up on the other side instead of going here. Not sure I would have made that choice myself, but they're almost there, so it should be alright. So if I look at my own levies here, let's have a little check. I mean, I can get regulars. But again, this is money I wanted to use to get into the next area of research. So they had... let's see. Okay, I can't see them at the same time. But they had lances, I remember, and probably more advanced units, like the next tier. How about this? So raise the levies. Main lines, feudal levies. Footman levy. Yeah, so it looks like they are Grasliad by the looks of it. So when we're looking at their levies, right? Early arquebuses, halberdier, light lances, lances of toughness. That might be the same cannon. Yeah, that's the same cannon, but everything else is like a tier above. But I guess these are regiments they can get then. But I suppose the levies will just be as bad as mine, and hopefully. Okay. I mean, I suppose I could send some levies in and try to protect my own lands at least, and maybe grab a couple from him just to make them more keen to, you know, negotiate for peace. But we are expecting units from the west as well, from province. So look at what kind of institutions they have, if they have anything above us. $541. So I mean we're ahead on all of them, but we haven't started them yet. I guess we might need to at least protect our own lands, right? So let's get some levies, I suppose. As for you know, other units, that's something I would probably just want to get set up once I have the technology from the Age of Reformation. Just start with these here from the homeland itself. Not sure how much we get from these areas yet. Some of them are converted fully, so could be good, like all of these. We'll really stop with this. And then we do have the cogs here. We'll just have a look at what sort of change we have in carrying capacity if we do decide to upgrade them. So that's the 8th Navy. So we got Hulk is 300. Lusta is also 300, so it's not worth it just from the carrying capacity. So let's get the ships here set up for patrolling. What's this? It's a bark. Let's group that then. And make sure that's balanced. And let's move them up here. So we can kind of control the shipping from Hungary. So I think the main ocean threat will probably come from province. Currently no ships, but if anything they would probably just hire a navy if they can. Right, so start an objective here. And for navies. Yes, if any of them were to pass through, they could come from here as well. So I'm not quite sure how this is going to work with such a large area, but we'll try this all the same. So maybe they get news and they'll start just sailing across the map, and that would be ideal if it works like that. Right. We need to cut down stability a little bit more. Can get everybody together here. It's a lot of units. All levies though, but it's gonna add up, of course. So now we're up to 65,000 army strength. So I'm by far the largest partner here, but look at Hungary, 76,000. It's just all of them basically. Can't imagine. I guess they're kind of enthusiastic still. Surprisingly so. They're slowly picking out a couple of domains here, but they're not really too focused on me for the time being. So that's good. Yeah, this war is a mess, it really is. Maybe it would be worth to keep a few thousand people left behind, just in case somebody does a bit of an incursion. So maybe keep an ear up in Aquila. Strong defensive forts. I suppose these should go there if anybody. So then we could take the rest of these and let's see. Let's move to Salerno for now. That's hills and next to Naples if you want to, you know, move them over. Let's first group them together and get a good general. We need somebody competent to lead this. It should be good. Yeah. And then we'll balance things out. And we'll start just, we'll need to start with getting the navy out. Let's see. Did we accidentally send the Hawks? We did. Okay, so let's fix that, shall we? Okay, we'll send them here instead. So it's going to be the 7th. I wonder if I can rename them. 2nd Army Transporters. So we might as well give them some sort of general as well. This one's good at privateering. Probably not going to love this, but he'll be delegated to transport duty during this war. Yeah, so let's see how we're doing. They are besieging by the looks of it. Wait, that's Morocco though. Alright, so our navies just cut them out. And that was one character we sunk. Very good. Right, so we will now try to transport some of our troops over into Bara. It will take a while. So we have better inflation, probably want to fix that. It's not the best thing to have during war. Looks like Hungary is really slaughtering them here up in Austria. So Croatia lost another ship here, another heavy. I mean, it's really good if they're going to feed us a one-on-one ship. That's perfect. Oh, started bringing a bit of artillery in. Might be late. I think they go during the first phase of the fight. So it might be late to bring them in this late. They're doing their best to fight. At least they're fighting in hilly terrain, so that will give them a bit of defense. So that's good. Very pleased to have my, strong navy sailing up and down here. Just keeping the lanes secure for my navy, or for my transports. Getting a bit of naval tradition and a bit of experience, that's good. Right, so what can we do here? Maybe something to help us in the warfare if possible. Sure, we'll do this. Yeah, Hungary has really been quite the warmonger during this campaign. I lost the count of the number of wars we pulled into with them. Them now to turn against me because of royal marriage with Austria is very disappointing. But they're being pushed back, so it seems at least that Austria, while they might have not too many high numbers, they seem to be well-trained troops, and they are fighting in a lot of tough terrain, hills and mountains and such. can be harder to conquer. How the fort's looking as well. Yeah, they have lost a bit though, but they're holding on. And as for the rest of my allies, '58, '84, they're actually adding more allies into the battle. So they're calling more allies, that is. Lubeck, Pavia. Okay, so we got another core. Checking if we have any activities that any of our councilors or council members are free, but they're all occupied still, so that's okay. Well, here they come, 16,000, and they're actually pushing into my area now. Yeah, so that's a fort on a plain by the looks of it. Looks like they turn about. That's good. Right, some of the troops are being shipped over. It's taking a while though. To be expected. But at least they are holding out here. I think these are hills, or maybe even a mountain. Hills at least, yeah. Oh, it's a mountain, yeah, and with the fort, so this is going to be very tough to beat. Level 2 forts. And should have a terrain bonus as well. And I think it might be, it's going to be 2 or 3 for a mountain, I think. So maybe a complete defense modifier 4 or 5. So that should really work in our favor. Now, if we get attacked while we're gathering everybody together. It's a lot of units though. We got 2 different armies here. So the 10th. Very good general. What are these? Men-at-arms, peasant levies. Wonder if it's worth actually taking hits ability at this point. And you know, the ducats we have in reserve to start researching some more advanced army techniques, like straight away. Currently we are researching what? Yeah, these are some, you know, something from the Age of Discovery. This should help with development. We might not be in position to afford that right now. Go to try and find that 10%. Yeah, so let's skip this one and have a look here if we can get shot and pike. Yes, that's not artillery. We did need 20% spread of it though. We might not actually have that yet. Just remembering that now. So let's have a look. Yeah, so we need at least 20%, is currently at 9, okay. So that's not going to be happening then. However, is there anything else in this branch that might be very worthwhile? See, all these things I've skipped because I was just going to jump right to the next age. Because this could have been good, because these are levies, right? I don't suppose you can upgrade levies. So development of the matchlock arquebus makes it possible to arm large number of soldiers with gunpowder weapons on a scale that was not possible in the Middle Ages. I mean, we can try. Guess that'll be the third one. Fur output. Yeah, that's kind of why I was kind of a bit hesitant, so none of this really helps me. I don't have any fur. I don't have any wild game. And this will be replaced, I believe, by some more updated units here, like the arquebus. Yeah, I don't think it's worth it. I'm gonna try to hold out. And let's just focus on things that are making things more, help progress the economy as such instead. New lumber outputs, things like that. Long-term investments. This is gonna be good. Same with this. So we have, I think we have the gold for it, and we can take the stability hits if it's not too high. We just need to get that spread, and that happens with time. Can't do much about that. But there might be some council member actions, possibly. Could help spread these things faster. Like range, repair, ship at speed. Yeah, this will be good too. Diplomatic range. And we can grab up the one ahead before as well, which is somewhere. It has to do with getting more burgers in cities. So probably on the banking. Somewhere. Not the easiest to find. No, to traverse the tree, right? It's a little bit slow to go through it. And easy to miss things. So, well, we have two of them anyways in the queue, so we can let that go for now. How long has it been, I wonder? So we need to actually capture something or beat them back at least, by looks of it. Or it needs to be the case that they, that Austria sues for peace. Whether that is giving up their area or not, don't really care. I just want to give up any of mine. This war was never in their plans to begin with, so I'm hoping things will go well. We'll see. All we can do for now is just gather troops and be ready. Still lots to be transported across. The main concern for me currently is that I do believe that Hungary is, their level is going to be superior. So I need to pick very tactical fights in good positions, locations, and such. And if we do fight them, make sure we have superior numbers. But we do have a few forts, not quite as many as Hungary. We do have them on all the frontiers, even in some of the core areas. But they should hopefully slow them down just a little bit. Looks like we had a good month on the market there. It's jumped up by 50 ducats, by the looks of it. So we're just kind of moving a bit more into keeping things balanced. Speaking of, let's lose some prestige. Don't want to be nudging that stability at this point. Okay, they're almost across. Yeah, let's move the rest of them. I'm hoping we won't see an innovation from any fleets. If we do, we'll just have to send them back. Austria's asked us for gold. No, we're gonna be stingy on this. Possibly. What would it do with the gold, I wonder? Is there any way to see that? And it's gonna be worthwhile. Don't think, is this like the current goal they have or the next space? Let's look at myself in comparison. Is it gonna be here? Tax base 306, yeah. But they have a larger tax base. They've probably been spending a bit of gold, you know, hiring armies and such. No, we're gonna decline. It's like a two-edged thing, right? So I'm not sure that would have helped much, and I would just be out of 300 gold. They're being utterly overwhelmed, so how much can you do with that? Maybe hire one mercenary army with a few thousand? It's not gonna do that. Not gonna make the difference, right? So, instead of going up here, I'm actually gonna be heading up here, just recapture these areas and try to grab something easy. Need to be grouped together. Give them a commander. Okay, it looks like that might be it. Let's group it all. Balance them out, and let's move up. We go straight for the promised capital just to grab these quickly. So I'm kind of a little bit worried about this army here. Was the Chancellor? Right, he was doing what? Converting. So let's go grab another cabinet member, see if they're available. 52. Not sure that's gonna be worth it. Would have gone for me if he was a bit younger, but this is a bit of risk to take at this age. So we're moving in here, gonna make this quick if we can. So it looks like they have almost a fort at every of the bronze capitals. They're not making it easy. I think we're gonna have to capture some of their lands just to kind of push the war score back a little bit. At least there's no cannons, right? We should have a few, because this should include our regular army. See, we have a few here. Right, so that should be converting. Where to go then? Let's have a quick look. So I'd like to grab something that doesn't have a council. Don't know if attacking them is a good idea or not. Really not sure. Alright, so peasant levy 16. Is that the same as I have? No, just infantry. So peasant levy would have been that I'm researching right now, right? Or was considering rather. So it should be Age of Discovery off to the right. Yeah, Matchlock Levy. Early Arquebus. Would be nice to have this. But I seem to rely a lot on levies, so this could have been good. Might even be good to have for the Age of Reformation. But that probably has to be done before you know, all the levies. These are the levies. Just comes initiative. Okay, so they are feudal levies. Alright, in that case, this might be an engagement I could take, possibly. And these are... so I have feudal levels, and these are peasant levies. Strength 1... speed might be higher, but I think the attack power is the same. Right, let's move to the east at least. We'll move to the castle. And maybe even just moving in there will kind of scare them off. So that might be worth it. What are we looking here? No winter at the moment, just it's May, going into summertime. Right, so we're getting some of the Verona army here. Still nothing, you know, on the Italy front. So I'm going to move the transporters back to Naples, so they're in the harbour there. Herald from the Duchy of Provence. Peace. And peace. That's good. That's very good. So they're dropped off, so it's just Hungary left now. Well, and the small allies, but I really didn't want to fight Provence. So we're kind of low on the morale here. We need to stop by and just kind of rest up. Flatlands. Rest here in the hills before we go any further. Right. Do we have... I guess we need to go a little bit further. Okay. So it's only 7% chance of it falling this round. So I think we'll sit it out. Now we're fully rested up, so let's try this. Fingers crossed. This really has to work, otherwise it won't turn out well for us. Not at all. But we should get the hill defense because these are our forts. So that should be in our favor. Hopefully this will be enough to kind of chase them off. And if we do that, I mean, they've been here for 233 days, so they'll have to start again if they want to capture it. Speed up just a little bit so I can get in there. Here we are. Okay. It's an all or nothing fight, this one here. So we gotta be prepared to run, possibly if they are much better trained. Right, so we have a better commander, so that really helps. Things are looking good. We did have the cannons to bash their morale a little bit at the beginning. Not too many though, could have done with more. Yeah, so they're getting all the negative modifiers. It's a very strong fort. They lost 2,000 men, which really isn't much. So we're going to try to chase them. Because, you know, their morale's low. Have to be careful though, because like, I think when I chase them and they end up in area like here, for example, they would get a lot of modifiers on their side, which is not what I want at all. Gotta be careful with that. But at least we chased them out. They were here for about 240 days, so that fort will stand for the time being. On the side, how we're looking. 76,000 versus about 60. Yeah, this whole thing is just a big mess, isn't it? At least province suited for peace, so it's just Hungary left. And if I can, well, these smaller ones here, so we could send our troops back here as well. Destroy this one. At least defend our homelands, right? Then we can have a look into, after the winter, we can try to look into maybe capturing some provinces of Hungary directly. And that would make them less keen, right, to continue the war. So that's chasing them off. That's good. What kind of defense are we looking at? Fort level 2. And that's going to be in the hills by the looks of it. Alright, so they got a modifier of 3 at least. So they have done a really good job of building a fort. There's more or less a fort in every one of these province capitals. But they're a hard nut to crack. This one in particular, 4. So the thing is, like, even if I want to, I might not be able to break into the central cores because of the domain controls of some of the forts. And the last thing I want to do is to get stuck. I've had that happen in the past, and it's just horrific, right? You can't really move anywhere without taking the forts. So we might have to pick one, maybe breach through here or somewhere else. So this one's 2. And we want something ideally on the lowlands, so we can still pillage for food during the winter time. I mean, I guess this one's as good as any, right? So we can do a little detour here. And if you capture it as well, it'll be easy to defend. You know, they'll have to come through here as well, and in the winter time they can't move through the mountains, so they'll actually have to move through the pass. so we can kind of funnel and protect from flanking attacks. Right, so lots and lots happening up here. The other option, of course, is that Austria gives up, right? And that resolution is just as good as this one. Right, so control's moving back over again since we recapture the forts. Now, I'm not sure if... here they come, so let's move out. Let's get out of there. Now, I wonder if we will get the terrain modifiers here. If not, get ready to jump out quickly. Looks like we have 4 here though, so we should be getting very good modifiers. So 3 possibly. Yeah, so we are getting the terrain modifier, because it's our land. Feeling a pretty good commander on their side though. Let's see how it starts. Should have cannons on the front. There we go. These little things. Some knights charging in. What do they have? Just regular infantry, peasant levies. Not too strong, but regular units. We should win this comfortably, I think. Fingers crossed, right? Because you never know. Right, so we still have the cannons on front, that's good. So it'd be nice to have more of them, of course. I guess this is the front line then, and these are the waiting ones. So I don't know if the cannons would have started at the very start then. Alright, so here he's coming in to try to support with these 6,000 troops. He should have broken by then, hopefully. So a lot of troops coming in. Come on, let's finish this. Alright, so we chased them off. We're right into the next fight, by looks like it. Okay. And yeah, they're just being chased out by one by one. It's like the dwarves of Helm's Hold, and we're fighting in the mountains, in the forts. And they just keep coming in by the thousands. It's probably the best engagement we could hope for. But we are losing morale. So it's a tough one all the same. There's been so many of them. So maybe we can chase these out, we get a bit of rest to recover, and then we can take any further engagements that come our way. Oh, just barely, right? Oh no, we lost here, okay. They came in these last ones here. Yeah. It was, you know, by hair's breadth, I think we lost that one. So the deliveries now be heading off to the coast, I think, for a bit of recovery, and then we can get back if you want. to try to reballast them, and we'll give them a little time to recover. We still have the commander. Yeah, we don't care about this province, it's just a regular one. It's the fourth ones we're looking at. How far are they gonna go? I do hope that Austria keeps fighting up here, because otherwise all the army will shift towards me, I think. One of our ambassadors made some unwise statements at a recent party. His angry and warlike denunciation of our neighbors means that we are seen as a greater threat than we actually are. Again, we'll just lose prestige. We don't have any of that anyways, so that's fine. Alright, resting by the seashore. So we got this barite, the green one for morale, but then there's this bright green section at the very end. I wonder what that is. What the difference is. So average model of this section is 4.71 plus 0.41. Maybe that's the plus 0.41 and 4.71. Wonder if we can recruit directly to his army from anywhere close by. So maybe some more cannons. So cannon production is just here, and well, we do have some. Yeah, I did build that. That's right. 1, 2, 3, maybe. Yeah, gets 5. So they'll keep coming up, I suppose, and we could probably upgrade them when time comes. Just want a bit more shock attack at the start. Wonder if I can get some more levies as well from these regions. Might be worth it actually. So raise levies. And try them, these large areas. To see what we get. Right, so let's move back up again. We'll stop by in Skopje. That's a pretty good place in between. Or maybe Nice. Skopje should have 4 too. Yeah. Doesn't look like you can recruit levies directly to this army in the same way. Upgrades. There was something that was an upgrade there, so we took care of that. It's only 30 ducats, so worth it. So they're trying here again. 471 though, is that enough? This is barely, right? I'm really only primarily interested in defending these defending the fort regions. Let's see, the exiles of Sika. The people of Sika do no longer feel like they have their future in our country due to our religious differences. The preaching of the local priest of Sika is no longer reaching responsive ears, and some have already started to leave the area for more favorable grounds. Pats are still already quite unhappy. we'll have to do this. Okay, so let's get them all. Another dead chancellor. 24, that's not really much, is it? Yeah, it doesn't look like these regions are really worth it yet, as for levies. We will throw them in there, we'll add them in, but it's nothing like the thousands we're getting when considering other regions, right? Like the core ones. Maybe these should go down to the south. Just make sure, you know, in case something comes in there. So let's see. $73.50. Yeah, if it's just, you know, by the numbers, then I don't think we'll manage, but who knows, right? Austria might have better train troops, but it is looking like they are losing all the core domains. So they'll probably be accepting peace soon. So got something inbound here. This isn't great. Can we get any more from the central course? We recruit some regulars. Open arches. Here goes all my money, right? Here's some camp followers as well. So it seems to be quite limited, you know, where I can get these units. And we are running out as well of the available ones. And then finally, let's get some more levies if at all possible. I think I've kind of used up everything I have. So that's 9,000. Don't think we can take that many. So we may have to send some of these back. Well, let's see what happens first before we panic, right? I'll keep a close eye on them. If they start going south, that's when I'll send somebody. Actually, it might be good to send this one here. You can send them across. Here. So that brings it up to about 6,000 roughly. So with the defense of the region and these units coming, that might just be enough to handle the army from Verona. And a bit from Hungary as well. And with this huge army on their borders, that might actually pull them back. You know, because it might make them nervous. Basically just me and Austria fighting. Ivy is coming in though with 4,000. That helps. Good, we're still sinking ships. Empty words. The Edict of Tolerance, proclaimed just a short while back, has proven to be nothing more than mere words. There have been several violent incidents and atrocities against religious minority groups since the declarations, where the two Sicilies has taken the stance of complete ignorance. Issue a new edict. So we have some more cannons here. These are slowly being built up. This is one region we would nice to capture. I think for war resolution, I think it's there's probably better targets out there. Well, looks like they're sending these back. So they're losing focus, they're just, going across the sea there. So it's a short temporary thing, nothing to worry about. So how are we doing on the western fronts? Let's see. In a core, that's fine. Just worth taking a quick look at the rebels, see if there's something to worry about. They're all at 50 or less percent that is, so should be okay for now. Okay, so we will wait here. We'll recapture here and just kind of recover a little bit. Get a bit of morale left. Oh shit, what's this? Is it a forest? They were waiting in the woods. Darn it. Wait. Oh no, was it the commander that died, that passed away? I thought it was just some average guy. Ah, shoot. And what's with that? 100? Oh, he lured me in on this one. I should have, just rested up before I got closer, just in case. So we're gonna try and pull out of this one as soon as we can. Don't think we can turn around the cannon. Let's see. Yeah, we can't change commander mid-fight. I mean, it would take him a while to get there anyways, but this is a situation. Right, I want to turn the cannon around and just meet up wherever this army goes when it breaks. Because it's gonna break. Okay. But at least it was only 2,000 we lost. It could have been much, much worse. Where are they going though? Yeah, that was a bit of a mess. Unexpected mess as well. Right, so we can now turn this one back here, and it'll just join up with the army wherever they end up. Let's get a commander back in here. See if we can find a new good one. So this one maybe. Army recovery speed for morale, that's also quite good right now. Don't mind that. Looks like the levies have been transported across successfully, so they can just join up here. That way we do have some defense in case they start pushing south. They were about 9,000, was it? I think we should be okay taking that on with this army. At least in this location, right? Make sure they're balanced. In a fort in the mountains. So all the way back to the coastal region, by looks like it. Okay, what once were whispers of gossip in the court has now manifested in a direct confession of him. He seems to no longer be able to proclaim his faith in the one true God, and he has been taken to like in heresy instead. We'll let him choose his own religion, as he will. So I have this army here, or navy rather, just patrolling. I want to see if we can add these regions as well, because I saw this one slip past. So I want to be hunting for navies. All of these. That's how I got the troops in, right? They should have gone for him, because it's just right there. Okay, let's see. Let's fix this before we take a loan. So maybe drop the cost of court once more. Do it like this. I want to get a little plus there for a while. Let's get all these cannons in here. That way, you know, we can give them a nasty surprise next time we meet them. So it blocks vision from sea, but should have been able to see them, I suppose, from land, but I guess it's not guaranteed. I have seen, I think, the troops hide in the forest. Go all balanced up, and let's move back up. Start here on the grassland and then rest up, and then we can move in afterwards. Now we should have a commander too, so that fight will be very different if we have to take it again. He also has a trait, yes, for the morale, I think. Have a quick look, see if we have any more council members available. Support for citizens abroad. We have been contacted by a group of Granada dissidents who claim they have vast net-focused support ready to force Grenada and Amir to adopt pro-Sicilian cause. I don't think we can afford it right now. Fortunately, we will have to take a bad deal here. Nobility will be unhappy, but that's just the way it is sometimes. I'll get winter, so we want to make sure we don't get stuck in the mountains. Alright, so one less combatant to worry about. As the war drags on, you know, more and more willing to sue for peace. At this point, though, you stand a chance of winning. Let's go grab the province capital again. Go through the plateau. In case they're waiting in the hills. Alright, so the allegiance he's made is slowly falling apart by the looks of it. I'm not willing to enter Hungary until in the summertime, just to the winter being everywhere, right? Looks like we lost about 4,000 or 5,000, I think, from the very start. Right, so let's go up here. Yeah, this army is entirely spent by the looks of it. Is that one of ours? He's fighting some other war. Okay, that's how we're looking. Okay, let's go up here. So I'm going to keep an eye on these. If I see a large army or get reports of a large army moving south, we don't want to take the engagement here, right? Because we are looking at fighting in a fort area with hills and who knows what else. Or grassland though, so it's not too bad, but at the same time, you know, we want to take engagement measures are really in our favor, if anything. Right, I'm actually going to send these over. So we got some cannons here, some trained units. So we're trusting for now that we won't see any more incursions to the south here. Peace. Good. Alright, so let's get rid of the levies, get all the trained troops together and improve relationship again with Hungary, and hopefully you can get a defensive alliance again. That was a very unwanted war, to say the least. But at least we survived it, didn't lose anything, and it could have been much worse. Did lose a lot of gold though. And some people. Okay, so let's drop all the levies, disband all levies. We'll move these back here to or I think it is. We'll still send these across. Alright, let's see. Improve opinion. Let's try to get back up to 200 again. Here's the problem. This might happen again, right? And our king is currently 50, so he has a few more years in him. So we could see another war that we pull into because of this. We will see. I'm gonna try and find out how we start a defensive alliance. Because last time it came from them, I just accepted. Though on the bright side, I mean, this could open up the chance to befriend the Ottomans. And the Aidinids, which are part of the Ottomans. And then we Austria, and then we have a lot more units we can actually take on Hungary. Don't want to though, like I have no interest in their lands, because they're like landlocked. I'm more ocean driven, and just getting control into these central provinces would be very tough. It would take a long time as well. So we can drop down the maintenance costs. Turn things around again. Ability quad cost. Just want to keep that here in a plus. Same stability. Well, that's actually doing it by itself now. That's good. Right. Good to save some money. We need that for getting these institutions started. Good, so we have everything upgraded. Maybe the better place to keep the trained units at home. Although, a lot of wonderful cannons here. The unit seems to be solid here. Wonder if we need to leave them here on the core land to get their units up before we move them across. 130. Because I don't know if they get the same supply to the east across the channel. Let's try. So we'll send him here to join this regiment. Hopefully happen automatically if I just move them here. Yes. Just the 4th. So, whom are the allies? Milan, Florence, Pavia. Yes, it's quite a few though, quite a few. I mean, we had the papal states just up here. We're much stronger, well, we're a fair bit stronger at least. It's just getting them all together, it might be a bit tough. Still want this piece of land here. Who's controlling Granada now, I wonder? Is that independent? Emirate of Granada. So this is something we might be able to get these in, you know, just invite them in as vassals and then later annex them. They are independent now, so that's what we want. So a piece of the land has broken off. Then again, I I guess we'd have to vassalize all of these. Don't think that's happening. Right, so what kind of resources did they grab? Not the most important ones. I did want the fruit and the gems, I know. And if I grab this, it might be easier to get this little kind of region to break free again and vassal with me. Empty words. The Edict of Tolerance proclaimed just a short while back has proven to be nothing than mere words. There have been several violent incidents and atrocities against religious minority groups since the declaration with the two Sicilies have taken a stance of complete ignorance. Do this again. Look outwards. Our thinkers take the cue from the governed and relaxed attitude to do these things and start to take an interest in those that are not like us. Those who speak a different language or live in another country. These ideals will help them when it comes to dealing with those people. We're gonna lose this as quickly as we get it. Right, getting a nice income of ducats. Should be getting closer to 20% global trades, all spread out. But I was kind of looking at artillery as being the first one. Turkish Patriots, 537. Let's look at the rebel groups real quick. Let's make sure that they're under control, if you will. People, rebels, and I always look at the numbers. That's like the main thing. It's quite low now, so they're actually going down by itself at this point. But the Catholics, on the other hand, are not happy since we switched to Lutheran. Quite a few of them. So it might be worth on to kind of push them down a little bit. Right, nothing in the resource queue, so let's fix that, shall we? Oh, there was one I was wanting as well. One with the burgers, right? This might be good too. So I don't think we'll be going much into exploration at this point. More just kind of try to do some trades and such things. Where was that thing? That's the one. Encourage daily living. So I do want this one. It's quite good as well. I think if we keep to most of the coastal areas, it won't matter too much. I'm not really looking to go deep inland or anything like that. So we do take a lot of army morale from movement cost. But it's... yeah, we have 2 in the queue, and after that I think I want to get into the new age. So if we save these back to Naples, we might be able to upgrade the ships. We'll probably want to keep the money for the upgrades first. So we could go with this, global trade. Yeah, we can't even get this yet, so... Because global trade will be the one, right? So 18.5 or 18 in stability. Yeah, so let's go for that afterwards. Well, this is getting close. Okay, let's see what else. How things are Hungary now? Are we getting better? 125. Keep pushing on that. Here, form new defensive league. So this is might be a thing we can't do again because of how things have changed. So then with 13 average crates power score. Because we start when we're both much weaker, and now he's been quite a bit more powerful than I. So I guess this is the ratio between the two of us. Base, I suppose that's always in place. Opinions are 125 currently. Or is that my opinion of them and then vice versa? Their opinion of us. Yeah, so I might be all with for the long-standing defensive allegiance. Like I said, on the bright side, at least that means we won't be dragged into the war every 5 years or so. Or 10 years or whatever it was. But that does place a very imposing foe at our borders. So average great power score, I don't really know. Is this average for everybody? And is this kind of increased per age or something like that? Because even if you get the opinion up to, much higher. So we're at, if we get, another 75, that's still not going to be enough to go over here. So it looks like we need to look somewhere else. But let's keep good relationship with Hungary. And maybe the Ottomans are new allies, or the Papal States. Something, right? We need to arrange something else at this point. We need to consider them a future opponent. And how do we deal with that? One is keeping Austria happy. I'm not quite sure if they lost. I think they lost these two at least, and maybe Salzburg. They do like split up, but I can't remember if they were. I think they might have been like that when we started the alliance. Okay, let's see if we can change them into an ally or something, right? Then if we attack Venice, maybe they won't join because we're allies, right? Let's see what we need to change them to vassals. Not sure alliance is going to be the path towards that. They are 39, they're fairly powerful. So I never really considered capturing the Papal States. It wasn't really on my radar. I mean, you do have that one Italy sort of campaign goal possibly. That's not something I've been aiming for. So maybe we want to make them an ally, because we need more allies now. Look at them. What kind of armies can they build? 4,000. Few ships. It's okay. It's pretty weak. Let's see. How to change to a country to a vassal. So now if you have them as a vassal, eventually after 10 years, if they have 150 or higher relationship with you, you can potentially turn them into, well, annex them basically. Okay, you can turn your country into vassal either by releasing part of your own territory as a subject through diplomacy or by forcing vassalization in a peace treaty. I think there's a third way. So I remember parts of Greece and such, that was simply, I think, through good relations. Well, so let's look at the situation here. How about the Ottomans? Is there somebody I want to keep as an ally? That would move our power base further east, but you know they would be very strong against Hungary, because I know the Ottomans are at least used to have quite a bit of a land army, so 30,000 potential, so that's pretty good. Oh, so they might become our new defensive partner. And then with that we can finally capture Constantinople and 30,000 levies with whatever I have against them will work quite well. And then if we had the Papal States as a bumper from any attacks from the north, well, they only have about 5,000, 6,000 troops. But maybe there's something else we can grab, right? So we might be able to get the Ottomans and the Athenids into defensive agreements. Then things are starting to look quite different, you know, when dealing with Hungary. And maybe something in the Middle East. How about Henrik? The main downside of that though is that I do want to, I would like to, you know, own the naval lands turning towards the sea. But maybe that's something where, you know, we'll have to be okay with not having. We do have a lot of lands, especially if we grab this little slice. That will really solidify everything here. And the Ottomans have a fairly good navy too, so they can actually just come across and drop units here to get into Hungary. But getting Halley in might be pretty good too. But I think like the more allies you have, the harder it's going to get more, right? I think with this one we could potentially get their opinion high enough to add them. So the number 76, 92, oh they're that much weaker. They're like number 13, we're what, 20 something? 22? 67, I'm just looking at the general power levels. Castile. I think we have good relations with them. Yeah, so they may be a lot weaker, but they do have a lot of units. Poland's good though. Yeah, I just think like the wow, Bohemia's number 6. 5.938, 91,000. Didn't realize it was so large. It's a pretty good landmass though, pretty healthy landmass. So as for the Ottomans, let's see what kind of rivals they have and what enemies. Granada, okay, that's good because we might want to grab this. Trebizond, this is good because we're wanting to grab this from the Trebizond. And Candia, where are they? Oh, just like the little island. Let's form a defensive alliance with them, or league. And then let's have a look at these here. We just grab like a little power block, make a new one, right? That'll be good. I know there's often an option to invite more members. To this one maybe? Okay. I guess there might be a Sunni, right? Or the Catholic? Orthodox? Orthodox, yeah, that's fine. So we have accepted Orthodoxy, so that's really good for us. Might be a bit harder with these here because they're Sunni, and that hasn't been accepted as a culture or religion within our nation at the time being. There's also like the bandwidth. You can't just accept everybody. You need to be very, you know, choosy, I suppose. Because you have a certain amount of diplomatic agency in these matters. Until it starts a negative effect, like your efficiency. So let's have a look at this again. I want to see why they did not want to accept. Get the defensive league again. Invite. Well, they're red, but I was kind of hoping they would join. Let's find out why that is. So laws, opinions, members unlikely targets of coalition. That's fair enough. The distance. And then just the size of the organization would be in them. Now I think... I thought these were allied with the Ottomans. I mean, I suppose we could have tried for them instead, right? So, let's see. Two 76. So they're actually more powerful. Did I make a mistake? I don't know. I guess like the power score, there's like several factors, like income and such, all kinds of things. But I was mainly looking at the number of troops, right? So 30,000 here, 21,000 here, 70 ships possibly, 25. Maybe you should have picked them. Okay, but anyways, so what's done is done, right? So let's see. So So they have royal ties with Ottomans, that's right. That's what I thought. I'm just thinking about whether, you know, it's worth fighting them as well, grabbing some of these coastal regions. They do have a market as well, I think. Relics here. Or is that within the Ottoman reign? That's within the Ottomans. So we would have been possibly better off allying with Adenids. And then we could actually grab like all this part of the Ottomans too. But we could break the defense alliance later. For now, let's use this and see if we can get Venice. I'll try to keep Hungary on the good side. I think we're still working on that, yes. Alright, it's actually okay. Things are okay. Let's give it a save here. Alright, so I think this might be a good place to wrap it up for tonight. So the war with Hungary has concluded. We didn't lose anything. It looks like Austria lost a bit. However, we did lose our long-standing defensive alliance with Hungary, which did really throw a wrench in our plans for the long term, but we have to pivot then, find other allies, and possibly find ways to weaken Hungary. They are very powerful and they are on our borders. And maybe we need to stop building forts all across the province towns here as well. So we have created a new defensive alliance with Ottomans in the attempt to kind of stand against this colossal force here. Maybe we'll try to ally with the Papal States as well. We'll see how that goes. And then I want to attack Venice and grab this off them. And then after that, who knows, right? Alright, well, thanks for stopping by. Hope you enjoyed the stream, and I will catch you on the next one. Take care.